Hey guys, just wanted to front load this video and let you know that it is going to be a little bit weird for the first few episodes. Me and Franz sat down and did a bunch of recording for this, and as we were doing it, the game kept freaking out on us, so we had to sit down and do the first, hour of the game, 3 different times. There'll be some points where the audio might cut out a little bit, like you'll hear the ambient noise of the microphone will cut out kind of randomly, or things like that. The video is going to be pretty consistent. There are going to be a couple more parts after this that are going to be a little bit weird, where we had even more technical problems. This recording has been plagued with bad luck, but we seem to have gotten it cleared up with our last session, so it should clear up, maybe 30% mark. All right, with that, we are going to get started. So, we are doing Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes, because it's easier to play than the PS1 version. Personally, that's my preferred, but this will be a little bit easier on the eyes.
Right. And I've never played Metal Gear Solid.
No,
oh,
never.
except for that one time.
Except for that one time.
Yeah, we're not going to get into it, though.
Oh, sure. We can.
We're not.
It's not a secret.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to get into it. So much shame.
So much. Not enough shame, in my opinion. Okay, so radar's gonna be not displayed during intrusion mode. There you go. Game stuff.
Is it going to be is it going to be worse to play with the wireless mode?
Wireless mode?
If
If you unplug it, it's not going to sync up to the computer.
Really?
You would have to download a thing for it.
Oh, nah.
We can do that later on, but it's too late now, so.
Right.
Okay, so what do you know about Metal Gear Solid?
Big Boss,
Mm-hmm.
Saw Snake, Liquid Snake, Raiden,
Okay.
and Otakon.
Okay. It's still Otacon, but okay.
It's not.
Stay
alert.
I might be thinking of that convention that happens.
You thinking of the convention that happens?
I'm going to swat down a couple of bothersome flies.
Oh well.
Is there audio right now?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure you have sound. Is there talking going on, narration or anything?
No.
Okay, because I don't see subtitles, so I don't know. We have only one headset right now, so Franz is A on the controls and B on the headset, so he gets all the important information. I've gone through almost every Metal Gear Solid game. I did not go through MGS2. I played it, but I didn't go all the way through it because it was only a rental. Because back in the 90s and the early 2000s, more accurately, because it came out in 2000 or 2001 or whatever, that was back in the days when a thing called Blockbuster existed.
Yeah. Oh,
Kids
man.
these days don't know what a Blockbuster is.
Oh, I remember Blockbuster
Hollywood
so
Video.
fondly. Oh. You know what else nobody else knows about?
What's that?
Game Crazy.
Oh, Game Crazies. You know, in the UK, they don't have GameStop. They have EB Games.
Yeah, they still have EB Games.
That's crazy to me.
It's great. It still has the colors of GameStop, but they can't say GameStop for some reason.
Probably because it's an evil corporation.
Yeah. You know what my favorite memory about Game Crazy is?
What's that?
One of the first couple times I went there, I think it was after I'd gotten my DS.
Mm-hmm.
The PSP had just come out.
Yes.
And I was going through it with my parents, they finished renting movies and they were coming to get me from the Game Crazy.
Right.
And they were like, "Yeah, this is the cartridge for a PSP. It's a UMD." And I was like, "Is that a what's it called?
Universal memory disc."
Yeah, it's a universal media disc." And the girl that was working the counter was like, "Yeah, that's right. You're a really smart kid." And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I am.
What's strange is that I've literally never, before that point, I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a membership to Game Crazy or whatever. I wasn't getting Nintendo Powers or whatever PSPs were on.
Yeah, because they talk about the PSP and Nintendo Power.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
The good old Nintendo brand Sony product.
So the Nintendo PlayStation.
Your Sony Dreamcast.
Nintendo PlayStation.
Oh man.
No, it was the Sony Play Planet.
Sony Play Planet. I love bootleg consoles.
That's what I had.
Give me 1
as a
second.
kid.
I'm gonna switch over to the other screen for a second.
Okay.
Okay, cool. It's still recording.
Yeah, it's still going.
The preview froze, and I started to freak out halfway through the intro. So while you're talking, I'm looking over nervously, and I start to sweat really loud. Oh, this takes me back to 2 weeks ago.
It was a week ago.
Was it only a week
It
ago?
was literally 7 days ago.
Is there somebody there? Yep. They see you.
I'm
No,
fine.
He's calling it in. It's an emergency. He needs help. Just hide underwater. So it's not pulling in or anything like that? Control's good?
Yeah.
Okay. You are gonna... At the end of Metal Gear Solid 1, I know, like, I'm gonna make a prediction right here in this first video that through all of MGS1, it's gonna be... This is really, like... It's a little bit goofy, but I really appreciate it. And this is my prediction for you, not my personal opinions, is you're probably going to say something along the lines of, it's goofy, but it's really, really, like it's really sound in its own universe.
Mm-hmm.
And then in MGS2, it's going to be, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then somewhere in the middle, it's going to morph to, I hate this. Because of some weirdness.
Yeah.
And then MGS3, it's going to turn into, like, a romantic involvement. And you're gonna, like, fall in love with the game. That game specifically, and then the franchise as a whole once everything ties up. And then, assuming we find a way to get MGS4 to work, we'll play MGS4. And MGS4 is the one that made it or broke it for everybody. Okay, go. Oh, no. But then MGS5, you're gonna cry. First you're going to be incredibly happy, and then you're gonna be incredibly sad. Because that game is fundamentally the best in terms of, like, mechanics and gameplay and things like that.
Right.
It's the best Metal Gear Solid game, in my humble opinion, in terms of raw execution of mechanics. But MGS5 is a game that outright was not completed. They just, like, Konami was just like, it doesn't matter, just sell it. And the game's just not done.
I know.
And like, it just makes people cry.
And they're still coming out with that super bad one.
That potentially horrendous Metal Gear Survive, which I'm not looking forward to at all.
You know, with the new Metal Gear Zombie.
Yeah, those zombies with the weird, like, rock shards in their heads that I don't want to think about. It's to be the best. Also, there's something this is going to be really weird and kind of come out of nowhere for the people who are listening. Is every once in a while I'm looking over the recording stuff to make sure that it's working properly, and I look at the I'm looking at the audio levels, and it's like I make a noise, and as I look at it, I go, "That's what that emotion looks like." Weird.
It's like some weird pseudo ASMR.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, this is what anger sounds like.
And this is what anger looks like. I'm just like, that's weird. It's cool, though. I get a kick out of it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. By the way, I've just put the controller down because it's just going to be cutscenes and dialogue.
This game is really heavy on cutscenes and
Dialogue.
Just stop me. Just stop me from doing my job because I'm clearly not capable anymore.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about
Okay.
it. You're great.
Oh.
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility. Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one.
See? Different dialogue. Did you catch that? He says, excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit. But when we did this the first time around, he said, you're getting a little bit rusty, and he says, yeah, but it's all coming back to me.
Oh.
The little things like that make this franchise fucking dynamite.
It's pretty cool.
It's super cool.
All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see.
Oh, after this, when we're done, I'll show you Mei Ling's classic voice, by the way. Because I went back and checked it after you left, and like there is a substantial difference in her voice.
The terrorist radar should have already picked them up.
So we're gonna try and dial it back a little bit when it comes to the. Oh, jeez.
Can we feed this somewhere else?
No, not really.
Well. Yeah. Check on that because this is ridiculous.
It looks like our little version got their attention.
Because I remember we have fed it better before. Try this.
It was not through here.
It was over the top.
It was, but the cable was plugged into the back. I mean, you know, alternatively, I could have just...
Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed.
What am I doing for the folks at home?
Oh, he's rearranging the cables so that I have a better reach. My arms aren't just stretched out while I'm leaning back.
You're not Mr. Fantastic over there.
No, I'm not.
You must be crazy to fly hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that? Sorry. I haven't introduced you to yet. This is Mei Ling. She was assigned to us as our visual and data processing specialist. She designed your codec.
I've almost got it.
Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Sneak. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a middle-class designer of military technology to be so.
This is the downside of having like a million USB ports in your computer and having it in a place where you can't look.
Well, I know.
But we're gonna have to wait for the cinematic to end to make sure that worked.
Because
Otherwise, we'll have to stop the recording and start it again.
No, we'll be fine.
I'm surprised. I didn't think you'd be so frank.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
It does, doesn't
The
it?
thirst is real.
You have no idea.
Power.
Everyone
thirst.
everyone he comes in contact with. Everyone.
Is that getting picked up, by the way?
The red
Maybe.
dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision.
Be careful, Snake. The genome soldiers have highly developed...
So this game, at the time that it came out for the original PS1, was like mind-blowing.
Don't let them see you.
First, I want you to infiltrate
I mean, this
the
game came out when the
disposal
GameCube
site and
graphics
look
were
for the
mind-blowing.
Yes.
The DARPA chief
Well, and this is the
is
remake.
same
Yeah.
GPS transmitting
That's what I'm saying.
radios
Yeah,
as you.
because when the original PS1 version came out, it was like,
Get whatever
oh my
information you
gosh,
can from him
that
about
dude's
the
capable of
terrorists.
tracking you based on your
He'll be
footprints.
alive, that is.
Like, stuff like that was crazy.
Snake, your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Are we talking over the dialogue too much? It's
All
okay.
made from currently existing
Okay.
technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong
I mean, to be fair,
harmonic
like 80% of the world's gaming population has played Metal Gear Solid.
This is also true.
Contact us by codec anytime you want.
Got it. I'll call if I'm feeling lonely.
Seriously, Snake. We're here to back you up, so call if you need some information or advice.
I don't, by the way, know everything about Metal Gear Solid. I just know a lot.
Contact me if you want me to save your current status. My frequency is 140.96. It's a dedicated frequency for saving data. Don't forget it.
Remember, except for your binoculars, you need to arm yourself with whatever weapons you can find.
I remember. First, I'm strip searched by Dr. Naomi.
I remember we did this the first time around. You were like, there's so much dialogue. I was like, uh-huh.
Put in that position.
Yeah. Well, I remember we talked about that like while we were upstairs like resting from the recording,
Yeah.
and I'm a person who really hates too much exposition.
Uh-huh.
Like that's why I can't get through Final Fantasy.
Understandable.
And I also like read my own stuff.
Yes.
So like
Cigarette?
I read the subtitles before I hear the voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
Because like usually once I hear the voice acting, I'm like, okay, this is what this character sounds like.
Yes.
Bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu.
The thing you'll run into, and the reason that I'm trying to pay extra attention to it, is that the characters that you run into in this game, are really good. They're like by and large they're really interesting and they're really fun to kind of poke around and talk with on the codex and whatever. Excuse me. But the other thing is that when you get to MGS 4 and 5, codecs like are exclusively non-visual.
Really?
And it becomes infuriating to try and differentiate. There's two guys in MGS5 that they are two very distinct voices, and they are very easy to identify independently.
Right.
But the two of them side by side, I could not discern, and it became incredibly confusing. Wait, what? There
It's
you
start and then A.
go. Okay. I was like, what? What's happening?
That's stupid.
You scared the hell out of me. I was like, what's wrong? Don't make me do my job too much.
Oh my god, I made it this time.
Wow. Well, go into the truck.
Go into the truck?
Go under first. And now climb into the back. And crouch behind the crouch behind that box. So climb up.
Wait.
Just wait. You're not the first person to appreciate that. If I remember right, just give it a little bit. Just wait it out. It should.
Someone
After a
call
few
me?
minutes. No, if after a few minutes, someone will get in the truck and just drive it into the base, and you can just get out again. But I don't remember if that's in this one or if that's in MGS4. Because there's a part in MGS4 where at the beginning of the game, you can get into a truck. Wait.
God damn it.
You're having a hard time with the controls, huh? Just a little bit? Alright, you're good so far. Oh, did you see that? What? Our boy up in the corner, what's he doing? Oh, he's awake. So much for that. He's shooting right in there at you. Okay, you're good.
I cannot believe you.
What? I didn't tell you to do anything. I was just like, hey, that guy's asleep, maybe, and then you just ran at him. You can't get out any of the ones with the grate.
Oh, God.
You know what that means.
Really uncomfortable.
Really pleasant, long, weird, awkward crawls through vents where Snake shouldn't physically be able to turn around, but that's okay because you're pretty much just a floating camera head right now.
He morph balls.
He morph balls just like Samus.
I don't want to answer that.
Snake, this is McDonald Miller.
Hey, it's your buddy, McDonald Miller.
Give me a drink.
Been a long time.
Do not make me laugh.
Okay.
So I moved out here for some peace and quiet.
I'm gonna tell the story that happened just now, so don't laugh at that.
Just...
Actually, I'll wait for them to finish talking.
Nah, fucking do it.
Well, I want them to finish talking at least a little bit, so that people know the relationship. Yeah. So anyway, me and Franz went out and got some lunch earlier, and we came back to my house. We grabbed a to-go order, and as we're sitting down and eating, oh my god, I can't even remember what I said to you. Okay, I remember. We were talking about food, and I was just like, I was telling a story about how I once ordered food, and I put some away right away so I would be able to eat it later because I right now work a graveyard shift. And working the graveyard shift, only a couple places are open, and this place that I ordered from would not be open at like 3 o'clock in the morning while I was at work. So I put some stuff on the side and put it in the fridge, and my cousin's like, why'd you order so much and then just put some away? I'm like, because I want to eat it later. And he's like, I guess that makes sense. And Franz is just like, and besides, you wouldn't want to order from 2 separate places. That'd be really weird. I'm like, especially if they show up at the same time. Like, exactly. And if I was going to do that, I might as well take it the next step, which is... to order from like 10 different places, let all the delivery men show up, and then have them fight to the death outside, and whoever wins, I eat their food. And he was drinking, and Franz is drinking Sprite during this, during this exchange, and absolutely loses it.
And I will say that this isn't the first time that that's happened.
No, Franz for a little bit he made it, oh, they're not frozen anymore, you can eat them now. Franz made it very clear he didn't want me to talk while he was eating and or drinking anything because there have been multiple occasions where I outright almost killed him from jokes.
Yep. You wanna go through one of the more memorable ones?
I don't remember them, so you're gonna have to help me. As memorable as they apparently are.
Da-da-da?
Oh!
That was one of the first ones.
One of the very first ones. You tell it, because I've done a lot of talking.
Alright, so... This is when Cody and I were working at the same fast food place.
And we were roommates.
No, it was before we were roommates.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like right around that middle ground where I had just
quite. Okay.
No, I think I was still working at the pizza place.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he lives a couple of blocks away from the fast food place, and after work, because we'd both get off at the same time, we'd hang out, and. Other days he'd just like wait for me to wait with me while I wait for the bus to go home.
Mm-hmm. Because we would get out at separate times, and we'd both take the same. We'd take a separate bus. We'd take the same bus later at a different time. Back up. Oh. I was like, I wonder where that guard's been. I haven't seen him lately. There you go.
But anyway, we're waiting at that bus, or at the bus stop one day.
Down to 1. Come. Oh. There you go.
We're waiting at the bus stop one day, and Cody's got a huge, like a large drink from work, and he was drinking it. And we're just having a random conversation. I'm drinking my own equally large drink, and Cody goes ahead and says, "I don't want this anymore," and proceeds to.
There was a pause in the middle of this. We stood and waited a little bit. And continued having our conversation. You were talking to me, and then I did this out of the blue, just kind of at random. Go the top way. We've been down here already. It doesn't take.
We haven't been down here already.
Are you sure?
We have not.
Okay, go ahead.
But anyway. So after this pause, he says, "I don't want this anymore," and then he proceeds to fastball pitch this large drink that's basically 3/4 full.
Yeah, more or less.
Onto the floor, onto the sidewalk.
Curb. Yeah.
Onto the sidewalk, while screaming the most iconic line from the Proclaimers' beloved song, 500 Miles.
Yeah.
Cody, take it away.
Da-da-da! And there's a smash and a splash, and Franz straight up chokes. And
Yep. No, I was mid sip, and the word that I made up for this is spitake.
And it's one of my favorite words that you've ever made up, because there's not that many. Snake, if you want to go up or down the ladder, press the action button. If you told us what that is, it'd be really helpful. But this was back in the day when you had to figure shit out for yourself.
Yep.
I miss those days.
Da-da-da.